You should be sad. I feel so sad. Finding out that our birds could die from the new 5G networks that are coming in, letting our trees burn, our birds die, the demise of our natural world to push technology. As in the words of Halsey, I feel so sorry, I feel so sad, and you should be sad. The continued installation of 5G high-powered radiation transmitters in Australia and all over the world is shocking, despite the call by 240 scientists saying it will hurt animal life, environment, and humans. You're not half the man you think that you are, the singer says. I'd say that would also describe the rich corporate leaders enjoying the technology surge through the restrictions caused by the virus, and the politicians hurting the land for technology, not giving a damn. How dare you? You should be sad. Yet they are not, at destroying their own land and children's futures by promising instead a life through the internet, while letting the earth deteriorate. And I don't even belong to the extinct movement. You don't need to be in order to see the money and power is behind land, is behind all government decisions here, and the lucky or unlucky land with its harsh penalties lately. Recently, talking to a technician guy putting in Wi-Fi in houses in Australia, I said, "What's all this about 5G stuff? Even the scientists have written it against it." "Oh," he said, "well, the birds die." "What?" I said incredulously. "The birds die?" "Not where the wires are put in the ground," he said, "not in your area, but where the transmitters or towers are set up. There, they have seen birds die out in the countryside and regional areas. Since then, I found out that insects may also die." "Why?" I said. "The radiation coming off the towers," said the guy, "is so strong it kills them, but not in the ground." "I don't want 5G, I said. "It's too late," he said. "You already have it." "What do you mean?" "NBN is 5G, he said. And when I looked at the maps of the networks as they are listed on the internet, there were both the 4G and 5G overlapped in all areas of Australia, including Sydney." "Aren't they protesting against 5G? I asked him. He said he had heard that, and then he said, "But your internet will be faster." "Seriously? Do we need a faster internet at the cost of our birds and animals?" "I'd rather not have a faster internet," I said. He was only doing his job. The letter by the 240 scientists from over 40 countries, Australia did not join, said that we, the undersigned scientists, recommend a moratorium on the rollout of the 5th generation 5G for telecommunications until potential hazards for human health and the environment have been fully investigated by scientists independent from industry, meaning not biased or stakeholders making money from 5G. And further, 5G will substantially increase exposure to radio frequency electromagnetic fields, RF, EMF, on top of 2G, 3G and 4G Wi-Fi, etc. for telecommunications already in place. RF EMF has been proven to be harmful for humans and the environment. Quote, 2017, the 5G appeal for moratorium. I just can't believe they're doing this. And frighteningly, the high rates of radiation mentioned in the letter can penetrate buildings, but needs to be of higher power to do that. But it cannot go through trees. And so I heard that they're pulling out trees in America. It needs many towers set up, and funnily enough, the coverage in Australia seems to be set up in places all down the east coast near to the beaches in Queensland, Sydney beaches such as Bondi, Manly, Maroubra, Wollongong, the ones they shut down recently to protect, quote, people from the virus. Also, it was noticed in other research the rays cannot penetrate trees. Interestingly, they have also pulled out very old beautiful trees in Sydney too lately. Apart from the bushfires are convenient, burning all the bush down the side of the east coast, that's all done. You'd almost think it had been done on purpose. And all down South Australia, trees gone, wildlife destroyed. Interestingly, also, is the person in charge of investigating the effects of 5G is at Swinburne University, Professor Andrew Wood. When I did my master's thesis on AI robots and children, I based it on the research and questioned the research by Therese Ken and her researchers of Swinburne University, as well as Queensland University of Technology and Queensland University, who were involved in this, ran an experiment in South Australian private schools between 2015 to 2017. 3 years of the Little Now robots, NAO robots, working in the schools and learning off the children, as well as they claim the children were learning off the robots. When I questioned the researcher if parents were asked for consent, since these were social robots, programmed to socialise, and that they had cameras in their eyes, so filming is a privacy issue. The privacy issue again. She said, the head researcher, that she did not need parents' consent, as the teachers were merely observing the situation and she and her researchers were not taking data. However, being logical, I knew that the robots were taking data with the facial recognition cameras in their eyes. Now to find that the 5G researcher Andrew Wood is at Swinburne University there, just as the head researcher of the robot experiment resides there, it seems too much of a coincidence, but rather instead a link. Other commentators of a 5G note it will be used for artificial intelligence and robots, which is what these little now robots are. With the 5G, they'll be able to run the robots more easily, as some are autonomous, but they are also run by Wi-Fi and can be controlled from another room, city, country. The implications are frightening, but the roboticists wish to insert them into the society through education, and it looks like the governments go along with it. We have of late seen the laboured pleas from Scott Morrison for children to go back to school, regardless of infection from a virus that is infecting everybody. That education is so important, yet adults are fined and imprisoned for not keeping away from each other. But children are not. The contradictions are idiotic. They need the children for the robots, I think. Or we will need the robots for the children as the narrative of the virus keeps getting used. Perhaps teachers will get infected or sick, but the robots won't, so we'll bring the robots in. We need our children to be smarter, and robots won't make them smarter. They'll make them dumber, depending on what you want they do with them. People need to wake up, and in particular the Christians who swallow everything and test nothing when they should not believe everything the governments say. Yet even the very elite will be deceived, the Bible does say, by a delusion. New technology will take from humans and give to the robots as they learn to be like us. I feel so sad. You should be sad. Hurting our children by making them reliant on technology is not smart and clever, and inundating them with video games on lockdown when we know they get addicted to them is stupid. Hurting our God-given animals, fish, birds, the sea, the air is criminal. We humans will pay the price for how we have treated this world we were meant to care for and tend to. I feel so sad. You should be sad. People don't even know what is happening to them and that they are losing their freedom as propaganda is spewed onto the internet and news constantly by a government with an agenda. A petition set up against 5G was taken down off YouTube, citing it was scientifically untrue. Of course, those companies who make the big profits will get their stakeholder scientists to say what they want to benefit that corporation. As it has many signatures and celebrities signing this petition that a girl was running on change.org, it probably was too effective, and so they pulled it down. What? Are we not allowed to make petitions? Where is our democracy now? Also, an Australian actress lost her role as ambassador for making anti-vaccine comments. That was Isabel Lucas. It seems there is no freedom of speech now. The clear mandate by God should make Christians think, but they often do not, is to look after the earth and the animals. Many powerful men tell lies to make their money, but they lose in the end. And I know in Psalm 8 it notes, when I consider the heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you have set in place, what is man that you even think of him? You made him a little lower than the angels and crowned him with glory and honor. You made them rulers over the work of your hands. You put everything under their feet, all flocks and herds and the animals of the wild, the birds in the skies and the fish in the seas, and those that swim and they that swim in the paths of the seas, all those things. Mankind was given so much to enjoy and raise their children in this beautiful planet. He was not meant to destroy all that has been given and exploit it for power and control. We have warped our purpose in this world by the love of money. I guess mankind will pay for it one day, or maybe it already has started. All the best, Andrea.